Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, we have some more information for you, and this one is not even being covered. Cyclone Harold. That's right. Cyclone Harold, a superstorm now. We talked about it last night in the Drake report. Drake did a great job covering this, that this is a monster of a cyclone and that it was headed right for Vanuatu. Well, it first hit the Solomon Islands and killed 27 people, and that death toll is expected to rise, and now it is slamming into Vanuatu as we speak. The cyclone is bringing 135 mile an hour winds. These are extremely high storm surge and massive hail, and somewhere between 12 to 24 inches of rain is expected to pour down on Vanuatu. Cyclone Harold is a Category 5. I repeat, a Category 5 cyclone, the most severe, and it's already killed 27 people in the neighboring Solomon Islands. The victims were literally swept off of a ferry boat that defied the cyclone warnings. And Vanuatu is home to around 300,000 people already in a state of emergency because the coronavirus and the awaiting general election results that they just had. And the storm is particularly affecting Sama, the Sanma province, home to the country's second biggest city there, and that's Luganville. Also, although there have been no injuries reported yet, photos have showed that roofs have completely blown off buildings, power lines have been brought down, some people are taking shelter in caves. What? And there's a lot of damage in Sanma. They've lost lots of buildings. They don't know how many people are dead because there's no way to get a count because the storm is beating them down as we speak. Matter of fact, the chief executive of the Vanuatu Red Cross was telling Reuters it is a storm of biblical proportion. The Vanuatu Meteorology Department recorded winds of 135 miles an hour in Sanma, but the gusts were up to 145 miles an hour. Remember Mike from the world telling us that there would be straight line winds and storms that would come ashore up around 150 miles an hour. And now a major international effort is needed. After the last Category 5 storm called Cyclone Pam hit Vanuatu back in 2015, although Vanuatu has no confirmed Corona-19 virus cases, it's declared a state of emergency last month, soon after the country voted in a general election. And the counting of those votes was live streamed as social distancing rules made it difficult to have enough observers in one room. Unofficial results have been published, and with official results due soon. And they're now the concern of coronavirus. And now they are worried about what they're going to do with the entire island being devastated by Cyclone Harold. Guys, 27 bodies have been found as a ferry disaster. A ferry tipped over after it was slammed into by this cyclone. Why were those people out there? According to reports, there were 700 people on board. They have found 27 bodies, but there are still 60 people missing. And now we're going to wait to find out what this storm does to Vanuatu. This is a very serious situation. Our hearts are going out to the... Let me put a shout out real fast if I could, real fast. For the last time here, I have this very important information for you, and it's called Study the Virus, studythevirus.com. That's www.studythevirus.com. A military source exposes a shocking truth about the coronavirus and warns people that the number one thing they must do before it's too late. The coronavirus is killing up to 2% of its carriers. It's so lethal that scientists won't even examine it. And then the genetics of the coronavirus are difficult to study because of its virulent characteristics. but doctors are afraid to treat it. But the truth is, the coronavirus is here to stay. It's just getting started, and it may be on its way to your neighborhood. The only question is, what are you going to do? If it reaches your doorstep, will you have the knowledge you need to be a hero to your family, or will you panic? One thing you can do is head over to www.studythevirus.com. That's www.studythevirus.com, and watch the free video on how you can be ready to protect your family from a black swan pandemic. Matter of fact, you'll feel the fear melting away from your heart with this new information, and your eyes will open to the power you have to make it through this crisis, and really any other crisis at all. That's www.studythevirus.com. That's www.studythevirus.com, and watch this free video, and remember that knowledge is powerful. Well, guys, now there's more going on besides this cyclone. We have very bad news. They are considering burying the dead in New York in Central Park as a part-time or as a temporary burial site to get through this process. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. To try to get through this process. They can't get the people buried fast enough. The morgues are full, overflowing. What do you do? Okay, so we're over 10,000 people dead now. It's going to peak at somewhere around possibly 3,000 people will die in one day. Most of that New York and New Jersey area. So Central Park is going to become a temporary burial ground until we get past this coronavirus, and then we can bury these people in a proper way, because you can't have funerals and all this is going on. It's a very, very dangerous situation we're in. So that is being discussed. I've seen that on Reuters. I've seen it on NPR. I've seen it on New York Post, New York Times. Different organizations of news organizations are telling us this now. Also, I just got some breaking news for you guys. I thought I should share it. And that is 51 people in South Korea who had already been tested positive of the virus and had recovered from the virus have now tested positive again. 51 different people. After already been cured and it's over with, now they're positive again and are showing symptoms again, and some are sick. So in other words, this virus is making a second wave, and it doesn't matter if you had it or not, you could still get it again. This is a whole new ball of wax that we got to deal with. Now that is 51 people. Missy D asks a great question. Is 5G a part of this? It's a great question. A lot of people are nervous about it. People are burning down 5G cell towers, thinking that maybe that 5G has something to do with it. But I can be honest with you, after we've done quite a bit of research here, we see no evidence at all that 5G really has anything to do with this. Now it might, but I'm just telling you right at this moment, we've been giving no, other than theory, there's no hard proof of this, okay? So we'll just leave that alone right now. I think it'd be the smartest thing to do, because if we don't, and then this thing, it could really come back to haunt us later. But there is no proof of that. And I would definitely say to everyone, no matter what, don't go out and start burning down 5G towers, okay? Because, man, if they catch you doing that, you're going to jail for a long time. So just don't do it, okay? Leave that alone. I'm not for 5G, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the coronavirus, to be honest with you. I don't know. But we don't have any confirmation that it does. So we got to let that go for a little bit, okay? Now, but it's a great question, because people are concerned about it, and it's possible. I can say that. It's definitely possible. But I can't go out and say, yes, it is. I mean, if I do that, no, I can't do that. We have no hard proof of that right yet, okay? But anyway, we got to pray. Guys, Boris Johnson's in bad shape, and I'm serious. This thing is out of control. We're not out of the woods at all. Let me just tell you what the latest numbers are. And I want to thank all of you for being with me again tonight. But we've got 1,345,048 cases globally that are confirmed. The death toll has jumped now to 74,565. New York City alone has 3,485 deaths just in New York City. And New York and New Jersey and Michigan, Detroit area, and New Orleans and Louisiana. And now the numbers are building in Florida. And Washington, D.C. is eat up with it. And Chicago is starting to grow. We're concerned about some of these other areas as well. We got to pray, folks. This is why I need you to take communion with me on Friday night. Really, just be sure you bring the juice or the wine. Make sure you bring your unleavened bread or your wafers or your crackers. Be ready at 6 p.m. We're going to pray. We have to pray about this. Yeah, that's another great question. Why did 23 million cell phones go dark in China? And even China admits it. 23 million cell phones went dead. Where did those people go? Did they all die of coronavirus? You know, I mean, they just don't turn their phones off, guys, because they're required to have a phone because they're under what's called social credit score. They're required to keep that phone on. So they can be tracked by the communist regime of China. So 23 million people just don't go in the dark unless they die or they lose. I mean, 23 million people? We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Steve Quayle brought this up, and we talked about it, and he brought it up about 4 days before China came out and admitted that there's 23 million cell phones dead. But China's not saying why they're dead. They're just saying they're definitely not there. What does that mean? Did they die? Is there something else going on in China we don't know about? We know about the gulags. We know about the re-education camps. We know about the prison camps. We know about the harvesting of organs. We know about the beating people down for your faith in Jesus Christ. We know all these things. I saw it, okay, guys. Something about Steve Mnuchin's got an article out. I got a video out about what happened to the presidential seal. He was in the briefing room. I've seen him in that briefing room before speaking, and that seal's not always there. So usually, if he's going to speak, they have the seal there. But I've seen him speak before without the seal. It's because when you go into the White House briefing room, it normally just says the White House briefing room, okay? And if the president is going to make a speech, a lot of times they put the presidential seal there. But I've seen times when it wasn't there. So I don't think there's anything to read into that. I wouldn't worry about that. There's not a coup. President's not been taken out of power. Don't worry about that. Because I've already seen that before. Okay, now if I had never seen that before, then I would say, wow, that is really, really strange and weird. But I have seen that. Sometimes the briefing room just says the White House briefing room, and sometimes the president will just decide to walk in there and speak, and they're not going to rush and put the seal up. So he just goes out there and speaks, and I've seen that before. So somebody could have choked today and forgot to put the seal up, and the president, you know, they've got a very thin staff there right now in the White House. Trump's good, guys. Don't worry. There's nothing to fear there. The man has not been. There's not a coup yet. Oh, they would love to take him out. The soft coup went on forever. I mean, we had the spying on Trump by the illegal surveillance by the Obama administration. We had the fake dossier by Christopher Steele, the former MI6 agent, and the fake Russian dossier that Hillary Clinton paid $12 million for. We had the Russia hoax. We had the Mueller investigation that went on forever and meant nothing. We had the fake impeachment, rush to judgment. Now, look, how many times we had Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and James Comey lying, the director of the FBI lying right to every one of us on national television. James, the clapper, lying to Congress. We've seen it. John Brenneman running around lying. Hillary lying about Benghazi. We've seen all this stuff. They tried their best to take this man out of office in every way possible. But I can tell you tonight, the president's okay. There's not a coup. I'm sure that by tomorrow they'll put the seal up, and he might even make a laugh. He might joke about it, and you know, because people are kind of overreacting. So don't worry about it. I've seen this before, I should say, not many times, but I have seen it before where they just forget to put the seal up. Things are pretty. Everybody's working 20 hours a day in there, and he has a skeleton crew in there now. So sleep well. The president's going nowhere. God's hands on him. Believe me. Oh, a lot of people like for him to go away. they'll run out here with rumors, but he ain't going nowhere. Okay. If he goes, it's because God said it's time for him to go. Guys, I thank you. I'm glad I clarified that, and I thank you for bringing it up because it's a great question, and we already had 3 emails hit us before I could come on here. I wasn't going to say anything about it because I knew it wasn't going anywhere, but it is. Take a deep breath and let everybody know, don't worry, this has happened before, and I'm sure it will happen again, okay? Guys, God bless all of you. I'll be back with you tomorrow. We're going to have a whole lot to talk about tomorrow. It is getting crazier out there, and that's what I'm saying. People are freaking out. Everybody's living on the edge. They're freaking out. The nation is strong. This union has been preserved from the words of Abraham Lincoln and the prophecy of A.A. Allen up to this minute, until the beast decides to rise. And believe me, that beast is trying to rise. Let's hold fast, all of us. Pray in the name of Jesus Christ. We shall overcome. And soon the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords is coming. And are you ready to meet him? Give your life to Jesus Christ. Everybody hit the thumbs up right now. Do it now. Do it right now. Do it now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Be sure you get your silver products. Be sure you have your coffee. Don't be sheltered in place without coffee. That would be, that'd be insane. Okay, are you serious? God bless you guys. It'll be okay. Stay positive. What? God bless you. Are you serious?